I saw it on mute.
Which is how you scroll Instagram.
Yeah. If you turn the sound on Instagram, you want to kill yourself.
It's too much.
It's so
It's
horrible.
too much.
They're like, I'm a little tiny box in your head screaming at you. Ah! Right. It's like,
scroll faster, scroll faster.
This is like, and another video, and another video. It's like, where's the pictures? I'm looking for pictures.
Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
And I'm bringing it down.
I'm bringing it up.
Oh, raise the roof, Tony. Tony's raising the roof. Beats. Big fish, little fish, big fish, little fish, big fish, little fish.
I love that.
That's how you do it.
The only thing I know is boots and cats.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats.
Yeah. You know who taught me that? Harrison Lampert. Magician, folks.
Harrison. Our good friend Harrison, who I don't think's ever watched or listened to our show.
No, that's why he's still a friend. Otherwise, he would have dropped off.
So this is the show where we go back and dig up movies and then assess or reassess them as the time might be necessary. And this week, Tony picked a movie from 2016.
A real blast from the past, ladies and gentlemen. We're reaching way back.
6 years.
6 years. This just came up totally organically. Dan mentioned it in a pre-show one time, and I was like, what is this movie? I've never heard of it. And then we watched it. It's Kindergarten Cop 2, which right away, I'll tell you, I have a lot of problems with. But my biggest problem is the name of the movie.
Because he's not a cop?
No, it's Kindergarten Fed 1. That's what we just watched. I'm upset. I was upset the whole time. I complained. I think I annoyed my wife because it's like, this is the dumbest thing in the world. He's not a cop. Nobody notices this?
So, so the thing about this movie is what you call a direct-to-video movie, except it's direct-to-stream.
Was it streaming, though? Do they still call that streaming if it doesn't make it to a streaming service? I don't
know what the new term is, but
I don't know either.
These are movies that do not come out in theaters. I mean, maybe they come out in one theater.
There's not a chance. I don't even think they had like a showing, a cast and crew showing. I think they were just like, we'll just put it online.
Yeah, so these are movies that in the past, what they would do is they would just go straight to video in your store. You'd make, a lot of times they'd be derivative things like, Starship Troopers just came out and is successful. Well, let's make a thing called Fields Troopers and then put it out and the box will look almost exactly the same. And then
Dan, I'm in. If you want to do it, I'm in. Let's do this.
A small percentage of people will pick that one up at the video rental store instead. Yeah. And this is the same thing. It's like, all these bad Bruce Willis movies.
Which I watch almost every single one, just for the record.
My buddy Todd said that his stepdad had watched one and hated it and told him in minute detail everything that happened in the movie. So they must have done something right because he remembered
everything that happened because it's so ridiculous. Also, just want to throw out the ones with Bruce Willis and Chad Michael Murray. Oh, so good. Real top-notch stuff, guys.
Do you ever watch any of them twice, Tony?
Not yet, but you know what? Maybe this will spur me on. I'll go back and rewatch. I love Chad Michael Murray. I'm not going to lie to you.
So the first Kindergarten Cop came out in the 90s at some time, right?
That sounds right, and it was just a delight.
And so Tony on his voodoo bought the double bill, Kindergarten Cop 2 and Kindergarten Cop 1. So after Kindergarten Cop 2, I watched the first 40 minutes of Kindergarten Cop 1. I saw that
because after we got done, we watched the full thing of it, and then there was 30 minutes in, it was like resume, and I was like, no, I'm starting from the beginning, but I know who did that. I know who watched that 30 minutes.
And you realize exactly the difference between a real movie and a movie like this movie. It's just like everything. There's like nothing.
There's almost no correlation between the two other than like it's a stupid guy who teaches at a school now.
Yeah, it's slightly similar premises and some stolen jokes that when you watch them steal the jokes, don't even know how to. You literally have someone performing a joke in front of you
Yeah.
Can't steal that joke and do it again.
No, that's what it's so weird. They use the exact same words sometimes, and they're just like, what made that one funny? I don't get it, guys. Let's just say it and see what happens. Oh god, this
So there's
movie.
a bunch of things like that that you learn through this
Yeah.
movie. 2016, shot in 28 days.
Wow, that's longer than I actually thought. I thought this was like one of those 12-day bangers. There's just like, we got to shoot 14 pages a day. Let's go, guys. 28 days. Wow, full month almost if you're in, February.
Oh, because February is like the short month. Okay,
It's short month,
which one's
right?
which one's that? February? How November? February?
I'm not great with months or days. Those are tough for me.
Let's days. I'm not good with years.
Years. Okay, got it. So we all have our strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. So what they did was they were like, okay, the first kindergarten cop, Dolph Lundgren. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So this one, we're getting Dolph Lundgren. And I say that to Shannon, and Shannon's like, why did they get him? And I'm like, well,
why did they get him?
He's Arnold adjacent.
He is, but this movie really shows the difference between them to me, just in this performance, because Arnold Schwarzenegger he's not a great actor. I don't think anyone would be like, oh, he's a good actor. But what he is like he's got a buffoonish charm to him. Where like you like him. Yeah. You're kind of like, oh, Arnold, you're so silly. You know what I mean? And Dolph Lundgren, I didn't have one bit of like for him. He's just a stiff board, and I didn't like him at all.
That's interesting because I didn't hold it against him.
I held it against him, not my body.
Because I said to myself, as I'm going through this, it's like, this is a terrible movie. Dolph's just doing whatever he could. It's like I don't know enough of the Dolph oeuvre to like really understand if he could do something good or not.
Well, I'll tell you once again, and we haven't done it yet, but I'm sure we will. But Masters of the Universe, one of my favorite movies from that generation. He's not great in it, but it works.
Is he hilariously over the top?
No. So that's not his thing. He's kind of like a straighter guy. He's kind of the straight man, which doesn't work in this situation because Arnold's not a straight man.
No.
He's a goof.
Yeah. Dolph plays this very even-handed.
Yeah.
Even when they're sort of ramping things up, he's like, let's ramp it up, but let's not ramp it up too much.
I'm going to be cool, guys. I'm going to be real cool.
But then again, his cool is not very cool.
No. I think he thinks it's cool, though, because they wrote a movie where every single female character wants to have sex with him. And he's, 74 in this movie? I don't know. I didn't look up his age, but he's old. Not that women can't be attracted to old men. But I just didn't feel it in this movie.
Yeah, as an older man myself.
Yes? Okay, so not great. It's not great, is what you're saying.
No, it doesn't. Life doesn't get better for us old guys.
Oh shit! You really ruined a lot of our hopes and dreams out here, Dan.
Mostly, it's like, oh, you're a human being, not a piece of furniture. I think he's 69 now, and so I think he'd be like 63 when this movie came out. He is 29 years the senior of the woman in the movie,
which is. Again, it's fine, but like it's kind of gross. It's weird. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it for a single second that their relationship.
You don't buy it. That's the point. No, not for a second. Because the one line that she says, it's like, oh, you're built so well. They a few times they talk about how well he's built. And he's always wearing a shirt. We never,
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up. Did you get to the part where they sexualize Schwarzenegger in the first one? Was that in the first 30 minutes? I can't remember.
No, I just got to the point where he's first in the classroom and, things, break down. That's as far as I got.
Which we're going to have to talk about. So there's a point where it's a similar situation where the women, the women of the children of the class are like, he's the new teacher. Oh my god, he's so hot. But he comes in this skin tight shirt, like it's short. His muscles are like he did push ups right before they called action because he is pumped up. And when he walks in, I was like, yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. If he walked in as a kindergarten teacher and they're single mothers, I'd be like, yeah, this guy's fucking hitting it.
Yeah.
Not Dolph. I didn't feel it at all. I never 1 second I was like, this guy looks good. I mean, he looks fine.
I mean, he never took off his shirt.
Never once. I don't think his muscles are still there. I'm calling you out right now, Dolph Lundgren. I think your muscles are gone.
I'm saying, Dolph, you're cool.
You're cool. Don't hit me, man. Don't hit me.
Don't beat me on the street.
You know what? Bring it on, Dolph. I'm not even scared of you, man. You couldn't even show off your muscles in this movie.
Yeah, another thing in this movie that's really strange is they hired bigger bad guys than him. So he always looks small when he's around the bad guys, which I don't think's a good idea.
Not only it's a terrible idea, and they hired in the first, like I'm going to compare them a lot because I did watch them back to back. In the first one, like the main bad guy is probably my height. He's probably like 5'9", 5'10", so he looks tiny compared to Schwarzenegger. And you're like, what are you doing, guy? You're going to get the shit kicked out of you. I know, it's super weird.
You want to give him that gravitas and then like have 12 guys attack him or whatever. And you're like, okay,
absolutely.
It's going to take 12 guys to attack him and they're still going to lose. Got
100%.
it.
Got it.
So we start out at the top motel. He's with this hot-ish girl.
Okay, yeah.
The set, as opposed to Kindergarten Cop 1, where we start off in a giant mall with thousands of extras.
So many extras, the money.
This one is a like tiny hotel set, which is like a set that there's like these places
they
in LA.
They built this in a warehouse for sure.
They either built it in a warehouse or there's these places where you go and there's like a whole little miniature city.
That's a good point.
You just go to this miniature city and there's sets ready to go. And like there's like a fake scene or something later on. And I was like, that is in the office scene. I was like,
office. Now that you're saying that, the office, the interrogation room, and this hotel room are all probably like in that same one building and they just rotate it around. For sure, Dan. That's good.
And the lighting, you immediately think, oh, it's like a porn shoot. It looked like a porn shoot.
Dan, I want to be 100% real with you. I thought that this was a fake movie within the movie. And I was waiting for someone to call cut. I was waiting for them to be like, cut, check the gate, go back to 1. Because it's so bad. Like, visually, it's bad. The acting is the worst in the movie. I don't know why. Like, it feels so forced in this scene. I thought this was fake. I kept waiting. And if it was a porn movie, I would not have been surprised.
Because the lighting is like these kind of pinks and these greens. And it's just like,
it doesn't
just
feel real.
Hit me with some gels on that because I want it to seem like there's something dynamic about it.
No, it was super weird. I thought it was fake. I really did.
Gotta say this direction of this movie, not worse than Battlefield Earth. There's always a positive to find.
There's always a positive. It's too bad they don't have a John Travolta in it, though, to give it its all.
So basically, the bad guy comes in there and he's like, "Oh, you're sleeping with my girl," and he's like he's the guy with the accent. And he's like a Russian. No, he's Albanian, even though he has like a Russian sort of accent.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. I'm not geographically inclined. I'll just say that right now. But does that feel right?
No, Albanians wouldn't be Russians.
Okay, because they're all like thick Russian accents. Like when I do my fake Russian accent, it sounds just like the guys in the movie.
No.
So I was a little weirded out. I don't know. Someone can correct us.
Yeah, I mean, Albania is kind of down, little.
Yeah, sure.
And Albanians are like the biggest mobsters in the world at this point. Oh yeah, they're.
Oh, good job, guys.
Albanians do all sorts of terrible crime stuff in England. Like the Albanian mob is terrible.
Over there in London. Got it.
Yeah. So basically, this whole thing's a setup, and the woman is cooperating with the police.
It feels like she doesn't know either, because she slaps him.
She's like his boy. He's her boyfriend, and she gets
Yes.
pissed off that he's an FBI agent has been lying to her, but
Yeah.
she's important to like their
As like a
case, I
witness, I
guess.
think. Yeah, she's like the witness.
So basically, she's the witness against the dude. They
Yeah.
put her in witness protection to hide her. We literally never see her again, even though we learn that Dolph thinks that she was the love of his life. He says that at
Yeah,
one point.
he says it. I think he's just lying. I don't I don't totally get it. We also talk the Russian, sorry, the Albanian also talks about her once, and it's like, well, she will not testify. But then he doesn't kill her. I don't think, right? I don't
She
know.
gets away. They hide. She's in witness protection.
Right. So, but I'm saying is like in the first one, they kill the witness.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the thing is they kill the witness eventually, and then they're like, oh, our case is ruined. Blah blah blah. This one, they talk about killing her, and then we just never see her again. So, do we
Well,
even need the hard drive?
well, the hard.
I'm so confused. I'm literally confused by the plot of this movie.
Actually, the truth of the matter is, they spend the whole time trying to find the hard drive that has basically her information on it.
Right, but she's there, right?
She's there. So basically, if there's missing information, they're never going to be able to find her because they don't have the information. The information is never going to come free.
Yeah, I don't.
So actually, they don't need
get
the
it.
information, do they?
I don't get it, Dan. I don't totally understand.
They're looking for information that the bad guy needs to try to stop the bad guy from finding it, which, of course, at a certain point, the bad guy's there when they find it, and he just takes it from them.
Yeah, that is correct. Which is
Spoilers.
the best. That's the right move. If you're the bad guy, just let them do the work and then just follow them. End of story.
Yeah.
Very stupid. This is a good movie.
Yeah. No, it's a bad, terrible movie. So we got some titles. Bill Bellamy's in it.
I like the titles because they're they're the same titles as from the first one, and I was like, oh, this is fun. That was about it. That was the end of my enjoyment of the movie, pretty much.
So he lives in a trailer on the riverside.
Yeah, he's very Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon 1. Yeah.
Now, later on, when the hot girl goes to visit him, she thinks it's like the coolest thing ever that he lives in.
He loves it. She's great. Listen, you can't trust anything she says. She's crazy.
She's just reading lines off a script because there's no woman that would be enamored with a guy's trailer. Right?
I wouldn't believe so. No.
Okay.
But what do I know? I don't know. I don't know anything.
So this has been a year later. They go back into the office. He has a big fight with the candy machine.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the candy machine fight?
All I want to talk about is that he pulls the gun on the candy machine, right?
Yeah.
But then just holds it. There's like it, and I understand that he doesn't shoot. He's not going to shoot. He holds it, points it at it for about 5 full seconds before I don't know. Is he a captain? Who is the guy?
He's I called him the boss.
The boss man. Until the boss man comes in, he's like, "What are you doing? You're going to shoot the machine?" And I was like, "No, he's not. He would have already done it." He pulled the gun and then just held it there, waiting for you, sir. You missed your mark. You should have come in sooner.
You know what happened?
What happened?
The person writing the script said he shoots the machine. And then they looked at how much it was going to cost and
to shoot a machine.
I mean, it's going to cost a bunch of money to shoot that machine. And they just changed it. They're just like, he threatens the machine with the gun.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And it's not, I don't know. It's not character development. I don't care what you say.
Well, we go back to this Twix bar a few more times in the show.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And they don't set that up that we're going to go back to the whole his candy obsession.
But it just doesn't be so. In the end, there's a callback in the final scene, the final showdown, where they eat a Twix, sort of.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually do anything. You know what I mean?
Well, it's misdirection for him getting
to endanger his children, sure. Which we'll talk about in a while. It's just, I don't know. I expected, if you're going to bring it back, I feel like there should be more to it than just like, we're just once
Sure.
again going to eat a Twix. Because I'll tell you right now, Twix did not sponsor this shitty movie.
I don't
So
think
they don't need to keep bringing Twix back.
I don't think they got any product placement money for this. This terrible. So basically, they have this guy in an interrogation room, and this guy hacked the information about the girl, and then
Right.
was going to try and sell it to the Albanian.
Well, it's the witness protection list, right? It's the
Yes.
whole list. They're only technically interested in the girl, but it's the
So
whole list
he
or something.
sent this information to his brother that works at this certain school, and then his
Right.
brother randomly dies in a car crash.
Right. Yeah.
So this information is on a flash drive somewhere at this school. So they're going to have to go get it so that the bad guy doesn't somehow go get it, even though, of course, the bad guy has no idea where it is or that it's even on a flash drive or that this guy even has a brother.
Yeah, because he learns later that he has a brother, which was a twist to me, only that I didn't realize he didn't know he had a brother. That felt pretty weird. He was like, wait, he has a brother? Like, yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, dude. He's had a brother the whole time. That's what we're doing. I thought for sure that they killed the brother in a fake car accident. I was waiting for that to come out. But it was just an accident. Like, it was just really bad luck. It's just the worst luck ever.
Just the worst luck ever. And of course, the idea that he would only put this information on this one flash drive and give it to his brother, that makes no sense.
It doesn't mean. Also, how did the brother send it to him? Like, I don't even. So, is it in an email? Like, couldn't you just look at the email? I don't know, man.
No. It's a physical flash drive, so you just probably put it in a priority envelope.
You think that he sent him the actual flash drive, and then the brother was like, "Oh, I'll just hide it in a school or something stupid." Okay.
Yes.
One thing I want to say about the list, Dan, is that the boss, who we haven't talked about yet, and we really need to talk about him.
Do we need to talk about the boss?
Yeah, 1 second. But the list, this is how the boss describes it. This particular database has all of the information, including photos, addresses, it is everything. This is a terrible database. Why would you have it all in one place? It's got photos of the witnesses. It has where they are, who they are. Like, what? This should not be in one database. This is a bad plan.
Gotta make it easy.
It's a bad plan. But no, we're going to talk about the boss for just 1 second.
Okay, talk about the boss. This
man is a cartoon. He's the most ridiculous human being. He would never be the boss of anything in the FBI. He is a Looney Tune. He is so over the top. He reminds me of, oh man, who's the guy from the black version?
Gary Anthony Williams.
Gary Anthony Williams. He's doing like a poor man's Gary Anthony Williams, but Gary would never do it like this. He's like, well, no, this is a real human. We have to play him like a real human. This guy is off the rocker, man. It is incredible.
Yeah, he just comes on and is like, okay, if there's going to be no energy in a scene, I'm taking it to 10. You guys can be rocking the 2s. I'm going to 10.
I'm going to bring it for everybody.
Get on board. I'm going to even out the whole movie.
It is wild. It's worth. He's the only laughs that I have in the movie, and not for the right reasons, but at least he was there to entertain me. I appreciate it.
He had one line later that we'll get to in a minute.
Oh my god!
So there's like a blackout, and like all these bad guys come. They're coming to try to grab this guy and get him to talk. And so Dolph and Bill Bellamy take care of them and use the vending machine as a protection from like machine guns.
Right, which I don't think is how they're built. If I mean, I don't know, but I feel like bullets would go right through it.
I'm assuming like paper.
Right.
Yeah.
And not only that, but then the glass would shatter on you, but it's fine. So like the back of it's real thick. Just so everyone knows.
Roll this thing around and capture all these guys. They shoot a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
No one was killed at all. None of those guys were killed.
Oh, that's good. I don't remember. They all come back. Is that what you say?
No, they say they were all 4 were critically injured, but nobody, and there was like 4 were critically injured.
But you did
and
a
2 were
great
knocked
job
out.
shooting them in non-lethal places. Good job, guys.
The amount of bullets and everything, I mean, like,
It's
what are you
ridiculous.
talking about? Nobody died? What are you talking
So
about?
many, all the people are dead. Not only the people that invaded, but also just random people because they're shooting in an office. So people are dead.
And more importantly, here's your evidence towards getting the bad guys. A
Yeah.
big pile
Yeah.
of bad guys that attack the FBI. This would be
Yeah.
the case that they would work for the next 20 years, is to find out who these guys were working for that sent them there. And if they thought for a second that this Alexander guy was the guy, he would be put
Oh,
away
for sure.
instantaneously.
And do we not interrogate any of them?
No, we don't do
Like
anything with them.
we send them to the hospital to recover. And then they're like, we'll get well. We sent them cards and flowers. It was really nice. I don't know. The one
Okay.
thing I want to talk about in this scene is
Yeah.
that there's a moment where they're walking down the hallway. It's a
Yeah.
hallway, guys. Just keep that in mind. There's only two directions, in front of you and behind you. That's how a hallway works. And they're having a gunfight, and Bellamy is screaming, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And I was like, yeah, bitch, that's right in front of me. I see what you're seeing. We're all looking the same direction. It was driving me crazy. If it was any other direction other than dead ahead at 12 o'clock, please let me know if there's a guy there. But you just yelling 12 o'clock where all of the bad guys are at the end of the hallway, I fucking know. So I was a little upset. Bad partner.
A couple times during the movie, we go to the bad guy in his house with hot girls laying around, and the bad guy then does nothing to move the plot forward.
I think they rented this house, and then they were just like, well, we don't really have anything to do with the house. Let's just film outside, get some lovely ladies to lay around and do nothing. It's so weird. It's so weird.
So
this movie.
Then we go back to this other weird scene where our main character is the boss guy talking on the phone while he's peeing, and then we sort of intercut the other guys.
This is my favorite scene of the movie.
I don't even know what the scene is about. I mean, basically, I guess he's saying you guys got to go investigate the school.
Yeah, it honestly doesn't matter what he's saying, because here's why. This is the most urinal acting I've ever seen in my life. He's jiggling, he's moving around, and at the end of it, he like tinkles on himself, and he's like, "Never talk while you tinkle." Well, I don't understand. I've never seen anything like this.
No talk on the phone while you tinkle. No talk on the phone. I'm like, okay, this is great. This is insane.
It's so weird. It was great. Oh, I'm so glad he's in this movie.
So they talk to the dude in jail, and he says the drive is hidden, but his brother said the kids know. So that's his only clue as to how to find the drive.
How soon did you figure it out? Not where it was hidden in a time capsule, but how soon were you like, oh, it's this stupid song that they've sung 15 times in the movie?
I really thought it was on Hal's necklace around his thing, because he had two things hanging off there. I thought that's where it was.
Sure.
I don't know why.
Yeah, that would make sense. Boy, I can't wait to talk about Hal. So one thing that I found, I haven't decided if I like it or if I hate it, but there are a ton of 90s references in this movie.
Okay.
It's weird because they're just randomly placed. It's not like they don't make sense. Let me explain. The guy that's in jail during the interrogation, they were like, oh, some guys talk to you or chase you. Why didn't you pull over or something? And he's like, I don't know. I thought maybe they needed some Grey Poupon, which is like a 90s commercial that nobody talks about anymore. So it's so weird in that scene, but it's so clearly a 90s throwback to the original that I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's like pulling me out of the thing. I don't know. There's a couple of them in there that are just randomly placed. It's very strange.
Well, maybe they hired someone that had worked on the first movie in the writer's room. Not that a writer's room, but somebody did somebody from the original movie did a weird pass and was like, ah ha ha, Poupon joke time.
Right, and he just kept his old jokes that got cut from the last one.
They ran it by Babalu Mandel.
Who's that? Who's Babalu?
There were these two comedy writers that worked on everything, and one of them's name was Babalu Mandel.
That's incredible. That's a great name.
So, they get to the school, and let's see. No, we don't get to the school. Oh no, they bring in the kids, and they bring in some of the kids and interrogate them
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
some weird
Yep.
reason. And it's just all the kid
And
stuff is
there's no
really
jokes.
weird.
Yeah, there's no jokes.
The one kid's like, "My sister has a vagina," which was a joke that was in Kindergarten Cop, which was
It's a
kind of
callback to
funny.
the original, but the first one is so much better.
This one's weird. Everything's
It's
weird.
super
It's
weird.
like my dad has a gun, and we're sort of setting up like the idea of wokeness.
And here's the thing, Dan, is I don't, even after watching the movie, I have no idea where they fall in the wokeness line. I don't know if they're for it or against it, because there seems to be jokes on each side of it in this movie to me, and I don't understand what they're saying.
Well, it seems like the Frisian's going to be the school is woke,
Yeah.
and he's going to come in and teach them that you shouldn't be woke. But what really happens is everybody just kind of goes like, well, you sort of should be woke, and you sort of shouldn't be what
also you
Dolph
don't need to
does.
be.
Yeah,
Yep.
everything kind of works, and we're just gonna kind of be cool and not really super criticize anything anymore at a certain point in the movie.
It's so weird. They talk about it as if they're making a comment, but they're not. Like, it's just,
No.
it's bizarre to me. And the girl that's like, my dad has a gun, later is like, my dad's going to teach me how to shoot the gun. And then Dolph is like, well, maybe you should wait till you're older, but that's cool. And I was like, what? She's in kindergarten, guys. Like, can we say something? But no, we don't.
So one of the kids says the flash drive's in the emergency kit, and then they go there and it's a flashlight. I'm like, okay.
Which was a good joke.
Yeah, decent
I was
joke.
like, okay, yeah, that's not bad. It wasn't delivered well when he holds the flashlight and he goes, this is a flashlight. And I was like, oh, way to sell it, Dolph. Way to sell it, guys. You're doing great.
So they decide they're going to have to do an undercover thing.
Well, Dolph decides it. That's what's weird. He just creates this whole plan himself. And I was like, that's so weird.
We also have this Frisian that kind of starts going where Dolph's like, I got to do everything alone.
Yeah.
Even though Bill Bellamy's like his partner that he really gets along with well.
They get along great. They work well together. He's at his house all the time. I don't know. They seem very close. So I don't know where this like rogue solo action comes from, but it's, why not, right?
And that's what happens in movies like this is they're like, oh, we need conflict. We're going to make him not ask for Bill's help, which is, of course, beyond absurd. He would, of course, ask for his help because they're partners. They have to go work on the case together. And you can't just
And it's not like they're new partners.
No.
In the first one, Arnold and the lady, they get thrown together. And guess what? They work together better than these two work, and they've been partners for years. I don't understand it at all.
Well, and you have the sort of, I'm sure in the original one where initially he's kind of like, oh, keep you at a distance. And then she probably does something really helpful. And then he's like, oh, I really need you. Boom.
Well, it's not even she's helpful. They just like bond because there's what's called character development in this movie. It's crazy. There's like real characters in this movie in the first one. And they just end up bonding and then they become very good friends. And he goes to her wedding and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
So we get there, we meet the principal, headmistress. It's not really that interesting.
Nope.
And then the super hot teacher comes in and you're like, okay, she's pretty hot. And then we talk about there being a therapy page.
Not to hammer this point, but I just want to point out, you said the super hot teacher comes in and you're like, okay, she's kind of hot. She was super hot. Now she's kind of hot. I don't know what happened. I just thought it was fun.
Well, when you first see her, you're like, oh, she's super hot. And then as you see her more and more, you're like, okay, she's pretty hot.
She's okay.
She's not super hot. She doesn't like,
yeah.
She's not wearing like these little tiny outfits and you're just like,
either
holy
is
shit.
Dolph. Either is Dolph, and they all talk about his muscles through the whole movie. Oh, your muscles are great. Your muscles are great. I don't see his muscles at all. I just call bullshit. I need to see more topless Dolph in this movie. That's all I'm saying.
And this poor lady kind of went on to not do anything with her career, sadly.
But you know where she started? I don't know if she started, but she did a lot of work with a band called Mariana's Trench. She was in several of their music videos, and they're one of my favorite bands of all time. So That's just a tidbit for the people out there that she worked on one of my favorite band's music videos.
I mean, so she like showed up as the hot girlfriend in the
I don't know.
videos
I
and
have
shit?
to go back and watch the videos because we just Googled her last night and we were like, oh my God, she worked with Mariana's Trench. Like she's in 6 of
Wow.
their videos. So I got to go back.
She must know one of those guys or something.
That's what I was like. I wonder if she was dating him, but it's, who knows? You never know.
Let's hope so. So, yeah, Bill Bellamy wants to be like on an earpiece, and he's like, no earpiece ever. Oh, he doesn't. No earpiece ever.
There you go. Yeah, I was like, wrong movie, guy. You're in the first one.
So
So has he never used surveillance before? Because that's kind of what I get from this movie. Only because eventually when he does use the earpiece, he's constantly putting his finger in the ear to give away that he's wearing an earpiece to everyone. I was like, what? That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do, guy. It's supposed to be secret. I don't know.
So day one, we have like the kids getting dropped off, and then we have like the kindergarten kids. We give them like this badass music, like badass, for no reason, because these kids are not badasses.
They don't do anything. Yep.
They don't do anything. Do they define some personalities for the kids in the original movie?
Yes. So that was the biggest thing between the two movies is that the kids are real characters in the first movie, and they're nothing in this movie. Absolutely nothing. Like they have their own personalities. Some of them have full character arcs. Like it's crazy how included they are in the movie. And that's what makes it so like cohesive is that he's going through shit, they're going through shit, then they kind of bond together and they go through it together. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie.
That is not in this movie. There's one kid
not
named
in this movie.
Cowboy. The rest of the kids just like nothing.
Yeah. Oh boy. Brutal.
We do some more My Two Dads, compost pile, holiday festival, gender neutral.
Yeah, they like really hammer home the liberalness and then don't take a side on it, I don't feel.
There's a guinea pig. And basically Dolph just asks them a bunch of questions about flash drives and just like doesn't subtle anything. It's just like
no. And these kids are so well behaved.
Yes, until they're sort of not well behaved.
But they're only not well behaved because he instigates it every time. Dolph is the problem. So another of the biggest differences is the way that the kids act. In the first one, when Arnold gets to the door and looks in, these kids are running around like crazy. And he's like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do? And he like comes in, he's like, you little monsters. And it's so great. This movie, these kids are at a school where they're incredibly well behaved. Every kid here is well behaved. And he just stirs shit up. And then he gets mad at them. I was like, you're an asshole. You're the worst guy in the world. So I hate him.
Tony hates him. So they do story time. He reads The Sharing Bird. And then at the end, he's like, this is liberal BS. Sharing is overrated. Never apologize. And then it's recess.
Yeah. Again.
He's doing fine. He's actually doing fine.
He's doing fine. He's doing fine. I don't understand the point of that little speech because I don't know.
Oh, because it was just a thing. It's just a thing you could do at this point in the movie to give him something to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
So he nosed around in the weird tech guy's office and then finds a bunch of flash drives and like piles them in his pocket, which he doesn't get in trouble for or caught about.
He should because he's stealing stuff.
Then we have Hal, the weird tech guy, and he does this whole bit where he's like, "Oh, we're gonna be friends, and I'm gonna pursue you as being my friend," which is a plot line that never happens in the movie.
Yeah, that never really happens. He also talks about how the teachers in the school are super hot. He's like, he should be fired. I'm sorry. This guy should not be allowed to work A, with children, or B, at all. Like, he's the worst. So here's my problem, is that he comes off very creepy to me. I don't know if you felt that. Did you feel it? Yes.
Pretty creepy. Medium creepy. Oh, he has a taser, too. He has a taser.
Yes, a taser. Yeah.
And you say to yourself, oh, my God, Act 3, Dolph's gonna have to run in there, get the taser, and do something with that taser.
No,
Wrong.
that's not what happened. It's a joke later. Don't worry, Dan. They really set it up perfectly. So here's my problem with the casting of Hal is
Is
that
it
to
should have been you?
First of all, yes, I did write that. At multiple times, I was like, I should be this fucking guy. Because here's the problem, Dan, is they got a guy who is creepy, right? That doesn't work. That's not the joke. The joke is he's like a normal nerdy guy who has creepy tendencies. That's how you play it out because he has to be more aloof. He has to be likable for those jokes not to be like, uh-oh, call 911. He's gonna murder someone, call 911 right now. Because this guy is a murderer. He kills people. I am for sure about it. And listen, tattoos are fine, but this guy's got a sleeve of tattoos at the most elite child school. I just don't believe he would not work at this school. He wouldn't work at the school. I'm sorry. You need to have like a guy who seems unassuming and then is like slightly weirdly controlling, and then he gets put in his place. That's the arc of that character. Not creepy guy, might murder people, and then we tase him in the nutsack, which is still funny, and then nothing. I don't know, man. It's bad casting.
So we do lunch, and it's Meatless Monday. They complain about his gluten, and then they find out that he has peanut butter, and everybody freaks out because Cowboy's allergic to peanuts, which is something they would instantaneously tell you if you walk.
You can't not tell. I think it's almost legally you have to disclose. Like you have to be like, hey, peanuts are not allowed in here because he's deathly allergic. It doesn't make any sense. It's terrible. Terrible writing all around.
Kids have nap time. He checks all the flash drives. Nothing. Then they get up and he's like, hey, it's snack time. And he pulls out a box of cookies, and the kids have never had sugar before. So he gives them the sugar, and then they all go crazy. And this is when the little girl has to pee, but she takes her outside and then has to give her off to the hot teacher to go and take care of her.
Is this where he's like, she peed on me? Did that happen?
I don't think so. All
right.
Oh, no, the little girl does pee on him, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was honestly not sure if I was confusing the two, and then I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
But in the other one, it's the exact same scene where a girl has to go to the bathroom, but she can't get off her overalls. Yeah. And so you watch Arnold struggle with and they get super mad at the overalls, and then he brings her to the lady teacher, and it's all fine. It's cute and funny. And this is just weird. It's just weird.
Super bad. And so the hot teacher has to come in there because the kids are going crazy, and then she takes charge and puts them into meditation. And then he immediately, starts quizzing her about the dead teacher to try and find the flash drive. It's very inappropriate and very weird.
It's super, nobody responds appropriately to when a new guy at the school just suddenly goes so how well did you know the dead guy? Tell me everything about this dead guy. That's weird. That's not what we do.
He just can't ask a question. It's all you have to do is say, oh, man, I really need to know more about the kids. The teacher that passed away, did he keep notes or anything? Did he tell you about any place that he might have put? There's just but they make them they make it intentionally not subtle.
Yeah.
And it just makes you uncomfortable. Every one of the scenes where he's quizzing, you're uncomfortable, but not in he's going to get found out way. Just he doesn't know how to be a human being.
Around humans? Yep, that is absolutely correct. Boy.
And so then the hot teacher leans in and basically says she hates the kids,
which is
but
so
she's
weird.
Into him.
Yep, it's so weird because we don't see that at all. The kids are great. She's great with the kids, and then all of a sudden she's like, I hate these motherfuckers. They're the worst. Let's go bang in the closet. This doesn't make any sense, Dan.
It is one of the most baffling lines I've ever seen in a movie. Because it doesn't serve anything.
No, not at all.
It doesn't inform her character. Doesn't inform her character through the movie.
It informs her character to me in that she's just a stupid little jerk. That's what I think about her.
So back home at the trailer, Bill Bellamy's there waiting for him.
All day? Was he there for all 8 hours of the school day, Dan? I don't understand.
And so he starts up the grill, and then they just get in a big fight because he still doesn't want Bill Bellamy's help, even though he's covered in paint and miserable, which of course is very weird. And then he
walks home.
He just leaves. He's like, okay, I'm gone.
He walks.
Out.
He doesn't get in the car, as far as I can tell. He just walks home.
We're not friends anymore.
How close do they live together? This is a stupid movie.
The other thing about this movie that like makes no sense is we get to day 2.
The days,
somehow he's going to go spend time at the FBI office before he goes to the school. Yeah. And he would have to be at that school at 6:30 in the morning.
100%. They should. Putting the days on there was a huge mistake because it ruins everything. So many things happen that need to be over longer than 4 days. I feel this movie, I think it was like day 4 or 5 that this movie wraps up. 5. That's too soon. First of all, him and the teacher are not in love after 5 days. That's ridiculous. There's like a scene at the end where he's like lamenting the school. It's like, you didn't learn shit. It's been 5 days. There's no way that you went through anything, guy.
He has
I don't understand it.
Very little connection to the kids through this movie.
0.
But somehow he's going into the FBI office full morning. You know, not early morning. Like it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. He's going to the FBI office and has to beat down 2 of the Albanian guys who he just lets go. These guys attack him with guns. An FBI agent is attacked with guns.
See you later, or something like that. He's basically just like, all right, we'll see you at dinner, guys. Have a good day.
These guys would be like mandatory minimum 20 years to God 100%. Only knows what. And
he beat him. It's not like he escaped. He beat them to the ground. Just cuff them. Cuff them and call it in. That's all you got to do.
You're never going to let these guys go. You're going to let them walk away with loaded firearms.
After attacking an FBI agent. Nope.
It's just like, what is happening?
No,
sir. So he goes to school and he has an air horn. That's how it's going to be boot camp time.
Which is, again, just, I guess, like an escalation of the first movie because Arnold uses a whistle.
Oh, he uses a whistle? Okay.
Yeah.
So the headmistress calls him in there. She's like, this is strike number 1. You have a total of 3 strikes.
Okay, that's pretty lenient, actually, to be honest.
At the end of the movie, she's like, this is your 3rd strike. Did he ever get a 2nd strike with her?
He did. He got a 2nd strike, and I wonder if I wrote it down. But
he did say something about. Okay, I didn't remember that.
It was after she found out he was a cop. Or not a cop, a Fed. And she was like, this is your 2nd strike. And then, because what I wrote down is, he doesn't care about strikes because you just found out he doesn't really work for you. So, like, the strikes no longer matter. There's no reason to say there's a strike 2, even though you don't work here for real. It's very dumb.
So we go back to police headquarters again. And this is the point at which he asked Bill Bellamy for help.
Yep. You know, or again.
Not even a worse day than the first day, but now he needs help.
Yeah, because it's stupid. It's a stupid movie.
So, and Bill Bellamy says something I liked, and he says, put some butt on it. Tony, put some butt on it.
Oh, when he's trying to get him to suck up to him?
Yeah, because he's trying to get him to apologize. He's like, put some butt on it. I like that. I've never heard. Is that a real thing?
A couple of fun lines that I feel like he probably just improv'd.
Is that a real line? Is that a thing people say?
I don't know. How would I know? I don't talk to humans. But no, I thought it was fun.
So
who is he? Do we know who he is? Who is Bill Bellamy?
Oh, he's a stand-up.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought that's what he was. Okay.
Comedian, actor.
Yeah. I thought he was fine.
He was. I think he must have been in some real stuff in the 90s.
Okay.
I don't know what. You know, maybe he had an MTV show, maybe?
I believe it, 100%.
Might have had a Bill Bellamy, presents comedians show too. Yeah. Okay. He's like a real sort of guy.
Right
on. Day 3, Bill Bellamy's got hacked into the camera system, has a camera in his shirt pocket, and it's basically feeding them lines. So, he's not being good at being a teacher. And he's like, no, 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 don't criticize. Have them talk about their feelings. And just, you can't say sit Indian style, sit crisscross applesauce.
You're kind of skipping over the biggest one.
Oh, what's the biggest one?
Dolph Lundgren
don't say retarded.
Says the R word. Yeah.
Retarded?
This is 2016, guys. That's first, even as a joke, not allowed anymore. That's so weird. It was so bizarre.
Tony, can you even say it?
No. You say
can't
the
say
R
it.
word. That's as far as it
You
gets.
can't say the R word.
No, I'll get embarrassed. No, Dan, it's 2016. Like that, that was 2 decades late for
Tony,
that joke. I don't understand.
I'm not giving away the R word. I need my R word. I don't know.
It's just so
there's
weird.
There's a lot that I understand, but I'm not giving up that word.
There's a lot of things I understand. There's not a lot of things that I understand.
So then we talk about this. There's a capture the flag game that they play with the hot teachers class.
Which, first of all, what? That's not a thing. Don't bullshit me. That's not a thing.
And it's so funny because they sort of set this up as going to make, you're like, oh, is this going to be like sort of a central conflict thing? And it sort of is, but it's like,
I guess it's the Trojan horse.
We haven't done Trojan horse yet. We haven't done that yet.
Well, but to capture the flag, they used the fake flag, right?
Yes. Well, we haven't done that yet, but we just set up that they just lost it. Somehow
they always lose.
Somehow they did it and lost it like while he was there.
Yeah, the same second. Yeah.
But he wasn't there. It's like, and the one little girl says toe jam horse, which I thought was very, very funny.
Oh,
you could barely hear it, but she says
I did not. I'll tell you right now, I did not hear it.
So they go into the tech guy's office and he collects vintage toy soldiers and has this whole setup in his office somehow.
In the office? I don't think that's allowed. I don't think you're allowed to have a war setup in your office in this type of school. I don't know.
And he's got a My Little Pony there. And the first shot, I saw that and I was like, man, that's a weird thing to put in a shot, but he needs it for the Trojan horse setup.
Right, but don't you think you would try to come up with something that would make more sense with the character?
What character?
Or do you think he's a brony? You think he's just straight up, he's a brony, and that's how
brony.
he gets his jollies. Okay.
I always remember in the Dodgeball movie when he goes to the girl's house and she has all the unicorns. greatest payoff. Just like what cracks open that door and you're just like, that's like speaks about how reality really is. It's like you crack open that door the first time, you don't know what you're getting into.
No,
and
that's true.
You may be getting into all these unicorns. And that's why movies like this are terrible. There is no, like when they try and show us what his unicorns are, it's like, I own records and they're really bland.
Like, oh, okay. That's cool.
Wow. You're interesting.
Wow.
You're not interesting.
Wow.
So the bad guy finds out about the school. I don't even remember how.
I don't know. I remember him seeing him in the mirror and just being like, what are you up to, Agent Reed? But that's all I remember.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So he's back inside, like looking for clues, looking for the thing. And here comes the therapy pig around the corner. I'm like, there's therapy pig just wandering freely, which you would never do with
which
a therapy
doesn't make
pig.
any sense. Yep. No.
So it starts to follow him. And then
some great jokes. Some great jokes unfold. Some great jokes.
Were there?
No, he goes, this is what he says, go away, pig. And he says, hey, pig, leave me alone. That's about it. said 2 things in the hallway.
So then he goes into her office, and then he's rooting around, and then there she is, boom, and she's like, what are you doing in my office? And the therapy, this is like where you're going to make all your therapy big jokes. You're going to be like, I chased the therapy pig in there, and then we do a bunch of therapy big bits, and it's not there. The therapy pig is like pig. Disappeared.
It's gone. It's just a random insert of him being like, I feel like maybe the pig just really was following him one day on set, and they're like, just roll the cameras. Just roll it. We'll put it somewhere. So
then I think he asked her out on a date. Yeah, he asked her out to cover up that he's like being in her office being weird.
Yeah. let's talk about his person, his character for a second.
Okay.
We forgot I forgot to talk about this at the beginning, but
Okay.
at one point Bellamy is like
You can do
something
the
about him dating.
mattress.
Something about him dating, and Dolph's response is, "I don't date anymore, Grandpa. No one dates. I just fuck." He didn't use that word, but that's what he's saying. He's like, "I don't date people. I just have sex with them." And I thought that was pretty gross, first of all, but also like weird because it's the only time in the movie where he seems to know things that Bellamy doesn't about being young and hip. The rest of the time, it's Bellamy being like, "We don't do this anymore. We don't do that. You're an old timer." I don't understand it, the character waivers, but
There
anyway.
is no there is no character.
You're right.
There's just lines on a page.
You're right. You're right.
I always remember at one point, Elko, our buddy Elko, was working on this script. This company had this script that someone had written, and they gave it to him, and he was trying to fix it.
Sure.
And he gave it to me to read. It's the same thing. It's just like things just happen. Everything's irrational. Nobody's a character. Nobody follows a through line. Nothing. And that's what most scripts are. They're like this, where I'm a preschool teacher and I hate the children, even though I completely love the children. You're like, who are you?
What?
What are you?
Who are you?
Do we want to talk about? So then Hal gets pissed off because he calls dibs on the hot teacher. He called dibs.
Yeah. So again, it's so creepy with the way he does it because he kept saying like, "I called dibs. She's mine," and that's like he's gonna kidnap her in the back of his van and drive her away. That's how it feels. And it needs to be like cute and like not cute because it'll never be cute because it's creepy, but he needs to be more unassuming and like childish about it. And I don't know, it's just weird. It's just very weird.
Well, and because Dolph's also like, "No, man, you're out of luck. Go go fuck yourself." Yeah, it's like really weird. He doesn't even play. Dolph doesn't play the game where you're like, "Oh man, I'll go out with her and I'll set you. I'll talk
right. Yeah, I'll tell her. I'll talk her up. Yeah.
There's like 1,000 bits that you can run, but he doesn't. His character in this point doesn't care what he does to he's like, "I'm just going to shit on you and you're garbage and I don't care." And you're like, wait, what?
And this is the part where Hal does like this weird, because he's so upset, he does this weird like jaw cracking thing.
Oh yeah, he cracks his.
He's like crack, like because he's the scariest human on the planet of Earth, and it's like he's going to kill somebody right now. So weird. It's bizarre.
So there's this whole like weird thing where he sees this one dad sort of abusing the child, and then he finds out that the dad's lost his job, and so then he confronts the dad and says, "Be good to your kid. I'll help you find a job."
Okay, I'm glad we're jumping right to that because it's
so weird.
Here's the scene. The dad, like the first time the dad shows up drunk and like manhandles the daughter, and Dolph was like, "Oh, I didn't like that. He was drunk." And I was like, if you knew he was drunk and you could smell it on him, did he drive his daughter home? That's like, because I don't feel like they walked to this school. They're in the circle drive, so like I feel like that dad just drove home drunk.
Everybody walks everywhere.
Bellamy's walking home to his house.
Nobody could afford a car in this movie, except Dolph. He's got this big red muscle car.
Yeah, he's going. Except for he won't show off his own muscles. Unbelievable. But so then later, when the dad comes back and Dolph has his confrontation with the dad, he's basically just like, "Hey, man, just be better. Just be better. It's okay." And the dad's like, "Oh, you're right. I'm gonna do better." No, fuck you. If someone confronts that dad is going to double down and like be defensive and get super upset. And then he's going to go kill his family. I'm sorry,
Tony.
That's what's going to happen.
Maybe you've never dealt with any alcoholics, but the alcohol makes them pliable so that they change their ways and start being good. That's typically what happens with alcohol.
That's not how that works, Dan. I
think you're confused about alcoholism.
One of us is confused. It's hard to say which one it is.
I saw this movie, and this movie had it right. I think you're right.
I get it. I was like, yeah, I did that.
Kindergarten Cop. That's how you deal with the drunk.
So
is you just
stupid.
talk with him and find him a job, and he's going to stop being abusive and an
It's
alcoholic.
not even like a long talk. It's like a 15-second talk, and the dad's like, "You're right. I should change my entire life right now. It's fine. Everything's fine." So stupid. In the first one, just not to hammer too much, in the first one, Arnold finds out that a boy is being abused,
Oh, really?
and Arnold kicks the shit out of the dad. The next time he sees him, he throws him against the car, punches him in the gut, and like knocks the shit out of him. And that's great. And it's good.
We all know that's not, just as Dolph's thing's not going to solve the problem, Arnold beating the shit out of the guy's not going to solve the problem.
And then after he pressed charges, so he was getting him arrested as well. So it was like a 2-step process. 1, I'm going to beat you up. 2, I'm going to put you in jail because you're a bad guy.
Oh, man.
And so he's a cop, not Fed, so he can do that. He can arrest people.
So he goes out on the date with the girl, which is taking her to his trailer and cooking her some amount of food. And then she says, he's like, I'm a normal guy. And she's like, your muscles scream one night stand.
Well, what muscles, Dan? We haven't seen them. Even in that scene, if he was just even wearing a t-shirt in that scene, I'd be like, okay, you can see his muscles. He's wearing a long sleeve shirt that's kind of loose fitting. What muscles? I was so mad. And this girl's so thirsty. What bothers me is that there's a line, they like talk about one night stands, similar to how he was like, I don't date people, I fuck. She was like, most guys or she's like, I can't believe you brought me to dinner or made me dinner or something, because most guys just want to get together and sleep with me. It's like, what? People don't even put in the effort of dinner?
She's hot. People are going to, she's going to get dinner out of any guy that wants to sleep with her. I'm sorry.
Well, so and again, I've been out of the game a long time. I get that. I've been in a relationship for 15 years. I get it. I'm out of the game. Is that true? People really don't date him, but it's just Tinder hookups?
I do not believe that. Although
I don't believe it for a second.
I'm not going to talk about what I know.
I don't know. Anyhow,
someone told me a whole thing about Grindr. I don't remember who it was.
Sure.
And it was all hookups. I mean, it was all.
Yeah, I mean, like Grindr and Tinder, I believe are the two that are made for hookups, but there are real sites. And then also, do people not just meet people anymore? I don't know. Maybe I'm a dinosaur.
This girl, it looks like that, puts a photo on a normal dating site. Guys are going to be like, oh, of course I'm going to buy you dinner. They're going to buy her dinner. She's very good looking.
I mean, they're also probably going to harass her, which is unfortunate. But
yeah, I mean, I have no idea about that aspect of it. But
I don't know. I imagine it's not great.
Yeah, whatever. We're free.
We should get back to just like regular dating. Forget these weird websites, guys.
So the bad guys are watching. So he does a thing with the Twix and quizzing her about the guy again.
Yeah, well, on their date. Let's talk about the dead guy again. Circle back. So weird.
Uncomfortable, useless. Actually, wasted space. Have him forgetting about the case and being interested in her.
Yeah,
let's do 100%. That instead. Let's make a movie instead of asking questions that we know she's not going to answer.
First one's already did that, Dan. They can't do it again.
Wait, what?
All right, I'm sorry. Well, that's how the first one happens, is like he goes on a date and he's like, the only reason I'm interested is because she's a mom at the school and might have information. And they go on a date and he really likes her. And then the partner's like, just admit you like her. It's like, I don't like her. I'm Arnold. And then he likes her. It's great. It's character development.
If you're going to make the same movie again, just make the same movie again. You can't go
100%.
in the middle. You can't go through the middle, because the middle is nothing.
Yeah, either make a completely original thing or just kind of use a blueprint. I'm fine with it.
So then they go line dancing, which actually the line dancing, I enjoyed the line dancing.
Nope, you're wrong. Let me tell you why you're wrong.
How did I not enjoy the line dancing? How can you tell me I did not enjoy the line dancing? They're like, the line dancing. I'm like, this makes sense. This is a thing that his character would do.
Let me explain to you why you're wrong, Dan. She asks him point blank, how do you stay in shape?
Yeah, line dancing.
Says that. And he's like, let me show you. And they go line dancing.
Yeah.
Does he know how to line dance, Dan?
Yes, he goes line dancing.
No, Dolph Lundgren does not know how to line it. He is fucking terrible in the line dance. She is so much better than he is. It is shocking. And not only that, he's only going maybe 20%. He's not getting a cardio workout. He's barely moving his feet. He doesn't kick above his knees. This guy's not getting a cardio workout.
He probably can't lift his knees. He's 70 fucking
100%.
years old.
So then that is not how he gets his cardio. That's all I'm saying.
Oh
Bullshit.
my God, Tony. It's not real. Oh, I don't know
You're
how.
right, it's not real.
I don't know how Luke can defeat Darth Vader because he couldn't defeat Darth Vader in real life. Shut up.
See, she doesn't like your response either.
She's mad at me. I don't know why she's mad at me. Are you what? Oh, she's not mad at me. I thought I was in
I'm mad
the
at you.
DOG house.
DOG.
I'm being loud, and people.
We are
not
being
happy.
loud. This is a tough one, Shannon.
They go line dancing. The big bad guy shows up, and then he tries to like insinuate himself, and then Dolph drags her out. And then
He doesn't
he's
try.
Like,
He's doing a great job. She's just like apparently has told him where she works, told him her name. Like he knows everything about her now. Like she's just giving out information. It's very weird.
She was into him. He was weird and creepy, and you're like, why?
Yep.
So
Well,
Dolph,
but I mean, she's also into Dolph, who is also weird and creepy in this movie. So she has a type. Older, ugly, creepy guys. That's her type. And yeah, and then he manhandles her. And then they go outside, and she loves it. She's totally into it. And I was like, this is a bad message to send, guys.
And then he sort of doesn't sleep with her for.
Yeah, she's ready. Now that he has manhandled her, she's like, oh, I'm ready to go, which speaks all sorts of trauma in her life. But then he's like, nah, let's not.
And he has nothing from the boss, nothing from the job, nothing from the case that makes it so he can't sleep with her.
No,
he's not in love with her. There's no reason why he wouldn't just sleep with her.
Yeah. Other than like, nah, I'm all good.
What age is this movie made for?
Nobody. This movie's made for nobody. I don't know. It's too dumb to be a movie for adults, but it's too weird to be a child movie. And here's what bothered me, I think, the most in the entire film, which is hard. It's hard to say this. When they're line dancing, there's a lot of shots of her like midsection, and like her hips, and then she rides a bull.
No, that's not. Is that her? I don't think that was her. I think it was a different girl.
A woman rides the bull, falls off, and then they put her on the bull. He gives her her hat.
Put her on the bull? Oh, okay.
He gives her his hat, and then she rides the bull, and it's very sexy. Oh, and there's like shots of her hips gyrating on the bull, and then all of this leads up to them about to go bang. And I was like, why are we sexualizing this character? There's no reason to do that. She's attractive. There's no reason to make her do that. It's so weird to me. And I'm on board generally like with this sort of thing. It was so out of place to me. I hated it.
Well, they should have made it. I mean, really, you should have made it so that there's some edict where he cannot sleep with her, and he's just like has to go home to the cold shower after like he watches this, and he's like,
honestly, he should have been the one that rode the bull, and it should have been the moment where we see his muscles and like him on the bull, like holding on, and her getting like all hot and being like, "Oh, okay, this guy's legit. Look at these muscles." That's what I want. I want to see him ride the bull.
So, Tony, talk about the next day when Dolph gets accused of having a taser in his bag somewhere.
Okay, so let's set the scene where he's in the principal's office. Hal has turned in his own taser and pretended he found it on Dolph's because he's stealing his woman who he's going to kidnap and murder. And Dolph is like, I don't need a taser to defend myself, which is the most real moment of the entire film for me because that is 100% true. He does not. And the teacher's like, well, I don't know what to believe. And she's holding the taser, waving it around like a maniac. And then she ball zaps Hal. And then that goes on for like 2 minutes, 2 full minutes maybe of screen time of Hal just alternating between and then speaking clearly. That's, I think, the part that drove me the craziest. He's like, why are you doing this? Please stop it. And it's like, no. That it's not like Surge's guy. You're getting electrocuted this entire time. It's not funny. And it does, again, I don't understand the purpose of any of it. Is it just a joke?
We have 3 scenes in a row that have no purpose. We have that one.
Yeah.
Then we do Game Day with the Trojan Horse.
Yeah.
And then we have the most baffling thing in the entire movie, which is the selling the bachelor auction for the school.
Oh my God. Which comes No, you're right. We should wait for that. Let's talk about Trojan Horse for a second.
No, let's just skip Trojan Horse.
I have a question. I have a genuine question about the Trojan Horse capture the flag scene.
Yeah.
That's not a Trojan horse.
No, it's not.
She just has a fake. It's just cheating. First of all, she just has a fake flag. That's not what the Trojans did. They were inside a thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this is the Trojan horse move.
It's not.
I don't get it.
It's a big fake out.
Okay. Good. I'm glad we agree.
It's Leonardo DiCaprio and Can You Catch Me?
Oh, beautiful. Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can.
Great. Yeah, that's a great movie. That's delightful.
Movie. It's a horrible movie.
I love Tom Hanks so much. But I want to hug that guy. You know what I mean? You don't want to hug him?
I love Tom Hanks. Hated that movie.
I love Tom. I honestly don't remember the movie. I saw it one time, maybe.
I
think it's good. You know what? I'm going to stand. I love it. Favorite movie of all time. I'm just going to say it right now. This is my top 5. Easy. Couldn't tell you a single scene in the movie.
No one could, because it's a terrible movie.
Okay, so then we go to this scene where they're having a bachelor auction, and it's not mentioned any time before in the movie, as far as I can tell.
No.
It's like a 5-minute scene, and then we never deal with the repercussions of the scene.
No. She spends $2,000 to get him. There's like a gay teacher that bids on him. There's all these other teachers that have never seen him that want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on him.
Love the guy teacher. He's funny in this scene.
He was good.
He was great. I loved him.
He was really good. He delivered the 3 or 4 lines that he had perfectly.
Yeah, he crushed it.
Totally perfect. You're just like, wow, dude, you win the acting award for this terrible movie.
So bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And can we just talk about a second? A teacher spending $2,000 on a date? No way, dude. That's like 2 months' salary. That's crazy. This movie is so dumb. I love it.
So they're trailing the bad guy, Zorgo or whatever his name is. And I wrote down guinea pig poem, so maybe that's when I realized that the poem was the trick. I don't know. The bad guys then steal the surveillance van from Bill Bellamy, but don't kill him.
Don't skate over this. We have to talk for a second. Yeah, they don't kill him. But first of all, you're in a top secret surveillance van, right, Dan? Just picture yourself. One, you don't have a camera on the outside of your own surveillance van? That feels pretty weird.
I forgot to do that.
Forgot. I knew I forgot something. Someone right outside the door.
Someone knocks on the door of the surveillance van.
Someone knocks on your secret surveillance van door and you open it? What?
You don't go, who is it?
You don't do anything. Nobody knows you're in there. Just don't answer the door, guy. It's a secret surveillance van. No one should know you're in there. If someone's knocking, you've done a bad job. So he just knocks. Someone's knocking on the door, and he's like, 1 minute, I'm in the shower. And then he gets out, he gets mugged. They steal the van, and they leave him alive.
So
why would they leave him alive?
I have no idea.
Oh, God.
So Hal is taking the kids to the sculpture garden. Why would Hal be taking the kids to the sculpture garden?
I'll tell you right now, because he's taking a couple to Mexico. That's what's happening, Dan.
You did not like this guy.
I did not like Hal one bit. And you know what? I'm sure the guy who plays him's a nice guy. I apologize, but it was not. This was a bad choice for this character.
So they lock down the school because they know that the van's been stolen and that Zergo is doing something.
Yeah.
And then we figure out that it's the guinea pig poem. You got to get the first letter of each word of the poem.
Yeah.
And then that's your thing. and then Dolph's character remembers the entire poem.
100%. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. They should have brought a kid in there to recite the poem because he just solves everything on his own. It's ridiculous. He's not that smart, guys. I've watched this entire movie with him. He's not a smart guy. Also, I just want to say real quickly, during this scene, the teacher, she tries to say something and Dolph literally shushes her. He goes, shh, 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 shh. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Not okay, Dolph. Oh my God.
Now,
This movie is so weird.
Is that worse than the R word, or is that same level?
It's not worse, but it's pretty bad
close.
too.
Pretty close.
It's pretty bad, guys. Oh.
And then, of course, as they figured out, it's the time capsule, a thing that has never been set up during the entire show.
Not even a little bit. In fact, we don't even know that's why he's taking them to the gardens until that's the moment when they're like, it's a time capsule. And I was like, what do you mean? What's going on? It's so weird. It's so weird.
Oh, I thought it was going to be in the guinea pig cage. That was the other thing I thought.
100%. I thought that's why she was in it when we came in. And
yeah.
I don't, man. This is a bad
so he says, take the hot girl, kill the black guy, and Bill Bellamy makes a always kill the black guy joke. I was like,
yeah, totally good. Yeah, maybe chuckle. I like him. I do like him. I would love to see him in something that's not atrocious.
Yeah. So we're at the park. Hal is nerding out. How is Hal nerding out? Talk about the time capsule?
Oh, I don't remember. If I'm being honest, I don't know.
The bad guys show up, and then they're going to kill Dolph, and Dolph's like, oh, let me have my Twix bars, my last meal. And then
have we opened the time capsule yet? Because I have to talk about that. Okay. I feel like we did.
Yes. No, we haven't. Because he's like, he holds up the Twix, and he's like, I'll eat this Twix like the brave Odysseus, which is the clue to the kids to do a Trojan horse thing. And then they open the time capsule. What's in the time capsule, Tony?
Yeah, so three things. As far as I can tell, it's three things. It was a tool. It was a multi-tool that came out.
Yep.
A flash drive, and then I forgot the third thing.
This weird, thin blue box that looks like it's been crushed.
So who the fuck is this time capsule for? Is this for the kid? Is this a kid's time? Are they going to open it on their 20-year anniversary and be like, what is inside this time capsule?
Flash drive. Maybe it's like a virtual time capsule. Put everything important on the flash drive.
So weird. Generally speaking, each student would put something they care about in the time capsule, and then you dig it up later. That's not what happened here. I lost my mind when they dumped out the contents of this time capsule.
I rewound it so I could watch it again to just make sure there were only 3 items in the time capsule because I did not understand.
It's just so bizarre.
If you're working on this movie, you just have one of the production assistants go home and put some random shit from their house
or just
into the
go to
capsule.
the dollar store. Just grab some shit from the dollars. I don't even care what it is, but more things need to be in there that aren't just from the things on people on set. They're like, who's got something we can put in the time capsule? And one of the gaffers is like, well, I've got a multi-tool. Put it in. God, it's so stupid.
Yes.
I love it. Grade A stuff. Grade A.
And then they go to kill them, and the kids are hiding in these fish.
Yeah, the Trojan horse.
The kids drop out. They have sticks. They attack the bad guy with the sticks, and the bad guy's like, I have a gun. No, I don't, because kids have attacked me. Little
two bad guys have guns, and Dolph's plan is to have his 6-year-old kids come attack this guy. Oh my gosh.
There would be a bunch of dead kids.
I mean, they're all dead. They're kids that can't do anything to this big giant man. They're all dead, man. This is a massacre.
And then Hal brutalizes a guy and then rolls him over, pulls down his pants, and penetrates him.
Yeah, for a second, I was like, wait, did that? And then I was like, wait, no, obviously that didn't happen. But I would believe it. I would 100% believe that was what happened. He's got problems. And it shows right in the last scene. He's just a murderer.
Dolph chases the big bad to the river, and then they fight, and I think Dolph just beats him up.
Yeah, it's a terrible fight. It's terrible. He just wins the whole time. There's never like a moment where Dolph is in danger. It's just Dolph kicks shit out of him.
And somehow the big boss, the FBI boss, shows up and he's like, "Where's my flash drive?" And then Hal's like, "Do I get a reward?"
Yeah, great jokes, really funny
and
stuff.
then the girl just forgives him because he's so hot. And then the big teacher talks about strike 3 at this point, the headmistress.
Yeah, when they're kissing on school grounds. I think that's not allowed. So strike 3, and he's fired. Great joke, really great. Knocks it out of the park.
We got the Jackson 5 doing ABC, or somebody doing the Jackson 5
Definitely
ABC.
Not the Jackson 5, Dan. They can't afford that, so they just hired like a couple of people and did it in their own studio. Definitely.
And then we get
like
a
karaoke track.
We get a shot of the pig.
Yeah, where did he go? I guess there he is. So there's closure from that scene. That's all you need to know.
They definitely needed some more pig work in this movie.
Yeah. The only other thing I want to say is the head lady of the school, the principal, beats a guy with a bat at one point, and she says hands are not for hitting. That's what bats are for.
She does say that.
And I was like, okay, that's a very strange saying. I don't understand what's happening at all.
So this movie, terrible. Do not go out.
It's really bad.
Spend the time going out of your way to find it like Tony did to watch it.
No. Yeah, don't watch this one, guys. It's not worth it. It's not worth the time.
If Dolph had been at least a little entertaining in here somewhere.
Just charismatic on any level, I think I would have liked it more. I love movies that I watch that make me go, man, I miss Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was so good. Because he's not that good.
In Kindergarten Cop 1, there's like the girl who saw her boyfriend get killed by the bad guy. She's like, I'm not testifying. And then Arnold goes to like this shitty, weird punk rock bullshit club and like shoots a bunch of people, shoots a couch, kills a couch, just does all these terrible things. And then he sits down next to her and he's all like, I'm your worst nightmare. I'm going to be everywhere that you are. And you're like, she's going to do whatever he tells her to do.
Yeah, like, okay, I guess I'll do it because I don't want this around.
And he would just ruin her life, and
100%
forever. It'd be great.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's got 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's unfortunate.
That has 50% on Rotten Tomatoes? Yeah. How is that possible?
I don't know what the audience score is. That's the critic score.
Absurd. I mean, is it a masterpiece or anything? No, but it's just Arnold doing Arnold.
It's a fun movie.
It's just fun.
Unbelievable stuff.
Now we talk about something we like this week. I'm going to talk about episode 1 of She-Hulk.
Oh, okay.
Loved it. Just loved it. The girl playing She-Hulk, great. Her transition to She-Hulk, believable. I love the CGI. I thought she looked great. And it's this great...
now, because they had to redo it.
Did they redo it?
Yeah, after they dropped the first trailer and people complained, so they redid the CGI.
Oh.
From my understanding.
It looks great. Yeah. I think I don't know. The transition, they give her a different haircut when she's She-Hulk. Her hair is straight and black, and then they do these black eyebrows. Yeah. And you see her in it. And they did so much work, I think, with what's his name, the Hulk guy, that they've done a good job of figuring out how to integrate a human face into a Hulk face.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's great. She's got comedy, and I loved it.
Good.
And I didn't expect to. I was like, I'll just watch it and go, because I thought the trailer was terrible.
It was terrible. Yeah. It was really bad.
So, I don't know. They figured it out in the show. So,
well, at least the first episode. So I think only one's out, right?
Yeah, only one's out.
It drops Thursdays, I think.
Yeah, whoever cut that trailer should be tasered in the nuts because you're sabotaging a show that is good as far as I can tell. Yeah. So, what do you got for us, Tony?
Well, I'm not talking about something I like, Dan. I warned you earlier that I am dismayed. I am upset and
He's
I'm
upset.
worried for the future. So HBO, this merger they did with Discovery is ruining everything.
Ruining everything.
So I think we talked about Batgirl getting canceled on here. I
Batgirl.
think,
They
but
say
now
that they're saying that Batgirl is canceled. Yes. What else?
I think they mean it, Dan. Just based on what else has happened since then.
Okay.
They took off, I think it was 200 titles from HBO Max.
Well, they took 20 cartoons. I know they took 20 cartoons.
20 cartoons, but they also they're slashing the reality TV. They fired the team behind F Boy Island, which is a show that I fucking love. So I'm very upset about that. But they're getting rid of reality. They're getting rid of a bunch of cartoons, and there's one, the Infinity
Train, which is a great show.
People are upset about it.
Okay.
The DVDs sold out on Thursday night, so you can't even get the DVDs anymore because they're not making more.
Oh, the DVDs, they're not making more.
Right, yeah, that's what they say. And they took away, you can't buy the music on iTunes anymore. They took down everything that is related to it. It's crazy what's happening.
What is going on? What's I hear this, and the creators, I see them on Twitter, they're like crying. They're like, I created this and they've destroyed it. They've turned it to dust. Yeah. Well, they're not going to, maybe someone could explain this to me. They're not going to take this material that people love, that they've sold out of the DVDs, and then never produce it again. What is the cost benefit of why?
And I don't understand it, but from what I've been reading, and I am not good with money. Let me just say that up front, Dan. I'm terrible at money. I don't understand it. They can use it as tax write-offs if they dump the IPs. So the IP, they're killing the IPs and they're basically retiring it all. And so they can't make money on it again because they're using it as a tax write-off, saying this is dead and gone or something. So supposedly, there's a giant bin, and they've set it all on fire, and they're like, give us our money back. From my understanding,
if this is true, if this is truly the case, which it might be, because everybody's reacting like this is the case.
Yeah. This is it. It feels like a little Armageddon-y.
All of the bosses of this are literally the world's dumbest people, because if they do not
what we're saying.
If they do not have a warehouse full of these DVDs waiting for these people to buy them, it's insane, because they're going to all get bootlegged and it's all going to be available a million different 100%. Ways. But it's like,
but the money's not going to get back to the artists. That's the problem with that. But continue.
It just doesn't make any sense that you would. Well, maybe these I don't know. I can't believe these tax write-offs are that gigantic.
I agree.
That you are like taking like. It's like, SpongeBob, we've made enough money, let's throw this in the trash. Because I figured that what they were doing was this whole thing where they were going to retire, shut down a bunch of stuff, and then they were going to just make it available as physical media and make it, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, which is, I don't know. I don't know how this is all going to shake out. I don't totally understand it, but I know we are upset. And I'm the guy in the middle of the crowd just yelling, but I don't know what we're yelling about. I can't see any of the picket signs. I'm just like, we're mad. But I feel I'm fired up, and I don't totally know why. I'll just say that.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, we're going to see if they really do, shit can all this stuff and just really destroy it. That just seems insane.
I agree.
When I was a kid, we watched Outer Limits. And I always wanted, it was like, we loved the show, but it was sort of on irregularly. And then one of the very first things when they started doing videotapes is they started releasing the Outer Limits, because people didn't have easy access to it. And they just kept re-releasing that stuff for years and years and years.
People bought it.
People bought it and bought it and bought it. Even though, a lot of that stuff's available on TV. People, you and I were talking about Midnight Mass. It's like they haven't put out a physical copy of that,
and I need it.
It's insane.
I need it. Yeah, and I want like an art book. I want like a nice release where it's in a big tin. I have a coffee book art book that has. I want so much shit.
And we're gonna have time to do 10-year retrospectives of all this, but it's like you're gonna take 200 shows of content and
And
throw it in
maybe
the
that
ash
number's
bin.
wrong, but it's a lot of shows.
No,
I know.
well, it was at least 20 cartoons, including Infinity Train, which was incredibly popular. I don't understand
people love it.
how big a tax write-off can be. I don't see.
I don't
it.
even understand how tax write-offs work.
Yeah.
I know that, like, when I go and do my taxes, the lady, her name's Martha. She's great, by the way. She's always like, "Oh, do you have anything that you want to submit for a write-off?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what that means." So
we're gonna have to see how this shakes out, because
yeah,
I can't believe they announced it and shut this stuff down. But fan reaction is a big thing, and if they see their numbers plummet, which I have to imagine lots of people are dropping HBO right now. If they did that to my shows, I would drop it and say, "Okay, we'll let you sweat for a while."
I would do it, but they have Friends on there, and I watch Friends every night, so it's like, they got me.
Yeah. So, but I mean, a lot of people they don't have. So,
100%. And so don't do it, guys. Don't wait to see how this all shakes out. I don't know.
Yeah, give us some time. So
anyhow,
we need a movie for next week, not in 2 days. We're not doing another show in 2 days.
This was a quick turnaround. I apologize. I messed everything up.
So I had a couple movies I wanted to do. One that just getting released on Peacock, that was just in the movie theaters, which we're going to do later. Not doing that one.
Okay.
Then another one, which was a second number two of a franchise.
Love it.
Like the first one was beyond terrible, and the second one I heard was
and then
even worse.
Still made a second one.
You're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go there someday. They're gonna go there someday. But then I found this little gem while I was doing my research for Kindergarten Cop 2.
Okay.
I was researching the writer of Kindergarten Cop 2. I don't know what his name was.
There was a writer?
There was a writer on this movie. This guy wrote like a movie in 1991 that got produced and had real stars and was put in the box office.
Time out. Hold on. Before you even continue, I do love that, of course, the guy who wrote Kindergarten Cop 2 in 2015-ish also had a movie in 91. So he's an old guy. This is all making sense. He doesn't understand things.
And the guy that wrote this and wrote the Kindergarten Cop 2 has written a bunch of the Tremors movies. He's written like a bunch of other weird, like his whole career is pretty much writing these terrible sequels.
All right. See, it's all coming together now. All right.
But his foot in the door, his movie that got made with Mickey Rourke and Don Johnson in 1991.
That's a hell of a pair.
Is a movie called Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
That doesn't sound real.
That's what it's called.
And
that's what we're watching.
And the Marlboro. Those are just two like brands. Those are just two brands. You can't. All right. I'm ready. This is going to be great.
I believe Mickey Rourke is Harley Davidson, and I believe
that checks out. Don would be the
Johnson
Marlboro Man. Yeah.
The Marlboro Man. And this movie, I believe it has about 25% critics on from 20 critics. It's a 20%, 25%. But on whatchamacallit, people, it's like 60 or 70%. Like it's like
the people love it. The people have spoken.
And the people is just like, I love this movie. It's terrible. It's like one of those movies that they love because of,
That's great. I'm ready for this shit.
I love this as a kid, and I still love it. And the critics are idiots. Oh, Harley Davidson.
That's how I feel about a lot of my movies. So I get it, guys. We're coming.
I started reading the synopsis, and the synopsis started with these 4 words: in the near future.
Great. Yeah,
I'm like,
it's gonna be
good. This movie is either going to be the biggest pile of trash ever, or it's going to be complete hilarious pile of trash. So I'm hoping for hilarious pile of trash.
I hope so too. It's time. We're ready for it.
Yeah, but I guess Don Johnson has amazing hair, and
of course he does. It's Don Johnson.
Mickey Rourke has teeth. Someone
There's
was
a
saying
first, huh?
Mickey Rourke's teeth and Don Johnson's hair were standouts. So
okay.
I'm excited.
Those are the standouts of the movie. This guy's got really good teeth in this movie.
I don't know if it's really good teeth or really bad teeth. Something about his teeth. Something's going on with his teeth, and
he has teeth.
We're going to be reporting back about Mickey Rourke's teeth, and probably talk about Mickey Rourke and the terrible things that he did to himself. And
oh boy, I'm ready for this. This is going to be good.
Go watch The Wrestler. if you want to see Mickey Rourke. One of the
Or if you want to
greatest
see
movies of all
Marissa
time.
Tomei.
Oh, is she in? Is she the? Oh, she's the woman in that, isn't she?
Yeah. She's
What's
beautiful.
going on over there? Tony's falling
She's like in my number one, I would say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yes, sir.
My cousin Vinny, is that your?
Oh my God, my cousin Vinny. Oh, what a movie!
Oi vey, oi geweld.
Faye. Yeah, no, she's great. She's great.
So, if you like what you see, subscribe to other channels because they need your help more than us.
No, they don't need it more than us, but they probably deserve it more than us.
Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Did I tell you that somebody wanted us to watch Avatar the movie?
I would do that because I hate that movie.
Do you hate that movie?
It is the most overrated movie of all time.
Okay, well, so I guess we're going to have to do Avatar one of these days.
Maybe that was just me I signed up under a different name and was like, let's do Avatar.
You're trying to get me to waste my slot on Avatar.
That's right. I don't want to waste it on mine, but let's make you do it.
So maybe we'll do, after Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, we'll do Viewer's Choice. We'll do Avatar.
Yeah, Jimmy Cameron. What an idiot.
I mean, I have two things I hate about that movie, and I'll be happy to talk about those. But I remember enjoying the movie.
The story, the plot, the acting? Is it those? Is it those ones?
Oh, we're going to have fun with Avatar. Yeah, so we'll do Harley Davidson next week, and then in 2 weeks we'll do Avatar as the viewer's choice. The viewers
sounds great.
Viewers have spoken. Avatar.
Viewer. Don't pluralize it, Dan.
And then after that, we'll come back, and Tony will get a pick.
Yeah, and it'll be just as good.
Just picking a good one.
It'll be Kindergarten Cop 3.
What's it? 2 men and a half and a baby. Oh, we'll do all those. We'll do them all. Do all of them.
2.5 men and a baby. You're confusing a movie, 3 men and a baby, and 2.5 Men, the TV show.
And a baby.
And a baby.
So we'll see you next week with another classic interview. I mean, review.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, watch it!